Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another Average Fisherman video. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing great. I'm on the water. I actually pulled into a small pocket that's calm to kind of do a little review from this weekend. So today is Sunday and I've spent most of the day really going to areas looking for beds, looking for fish on the bed, just kind of cruising. Yesterday I fished a lot more. And we're gonna go over what the fish are biting on and, you know, kind of what's working, what's not working, and what I'm seeing out here, so that way it can help you all when you come down to the lake. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So yesterday I was going and focusing in areas that didn't have a lot of pressure. You had two high school organizations that had tournaments down here. You had media bass going on and whatever else was going on this lake. It was literally pretty insane yesterday. There wasn't a place that I didn't go that didn't have boats. There was a couple places that I've never even went into this lake, and there was like 5 or 6 boats back there, and it's just insane how many boats were on the lake. So the lake is extremely pressured right now. Let's go ahead and insert all the fish catches that I had from yesterday right here. Can't go wrong with the old spinnerbait. Look at that. Choked it. Choked it. Got him. Got him. First cast on jerkbait. First cast on jerkbait over the brush pile. That's a good one. A chunk, dude. Well, out here they are. Boy, these bass hooks are not a joke. They're sharp. Woo! Another one. Let's see the way he ate this. Choked it.
good one.
Okay, as you can see, I caught a ton of fish, a bunch of fish. I caught, I think yesterday, probably my best 5 would have went 14 and a half. I just didn't have a big fish. I caught an average of anywhere from 2 to 3 3/4, almost 4 pounds. I mean, I caught a ton of 2-pounders. You know, I know they're all males. So that's what sparked me coming out here today, and I started kind of looking for females. So yesterday, like I said, I was targeting areas that were not over pressured with people. I was targeting areas that were kind of off the wall, if you will. I was kind of flabbergasted how many people were on the water yesterday, but then again, I'm not. It's the spawning season and it's beautiful out and everybody's getting outside, which is great. So yesterday, let's get into what I was doing. Yesterday, I was targeting these ditches and drains that were leading into the pockets. And realistically, I wasn't going into, like, you know, the main vein of it, if you will, because there were so many boats. I was looking for the nooks and crannies off on the sides in these pockets. And they yielded a lot of great results. You know, I did that same pattern. I went further up the lake and, you know, went down the lake, and I just repeated that pattern. And everywhere I went, you know, just in, you know, kind of the centers and the mouths, you know, I was whopping fish. Man, I've been doing a lot of damage on a shaky head, and there's 2 different types of trick worms I've been using. One, I've been using the cross baits right here, this Wormzilla. It's just like a trick worm. It's infused with kicking bass. You know, this is the green pumpkin candy. I've been throwing these earlier in the morning because they're a little bit darker than the Zoom watermelon candies. But the longer you fish this, the clearer this gets, if that makes sense. So I was throwing this on a 5/16 spot head remover. I have been trimming it down some, for the simple fact that it seems like I was getting a little more bites with it trimmed down. This is no secret. I've been using the cross baits, Wormzilla, for a while, and it's been working great for me. And I think the reason it's really working, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about using trick worms now, and you know, I think it's something these bass don't see a lot on this lake. And I know, you know, earlier in the pre-spawn stage, it was really working well. And with that being said, I was trimming this down just a little bit. I was cutting maybe a 1/2 inch off, you know, at the beginning of it. And what's important about this Wormzilla that works so well, that I want everybody to understand, is when you put it in a shaky head, when you put on those spot heads, when it hits the bottom, Danny Cross has designed his Wormzillas to float up. This is different plastic than what you'll see with many other manufacturers. So, and I can see it stand up on my live scope. So when it hits, it slowly rises up and it lets that shaky head do its thing. And I'm really just shaking this, and it's really getting a lot of bites for me. And I think the reason why I'm getting a lot more bites than other people when I come into areas that have been fished is because I'm slowing down and I'm fishing kind of finessey, but kind of, you know, power fishing at the same time, if you will. You know, a lot of guys are out here live scoping. A lot of guys are out here using their electronic scoping fish. That's starting to die off. You know, you've seen I caught a couple on a jerkbait here and there. You know, I'm just throwing to them and getting them to react truthfully. But that Wormzilla has been probably one of my #1 baits that I've been catching big and medium size and even small size on. You know, like I said, when early in the mornings until, you know, it starts getting a little brighter, that still is producing for me, but I switched to the other one, the watermelon candy that I've got. When Zoom, it's a little clearer than the green pumpkin candy right there, and it does a little bit better in the clear water, bright sunny conditions. But with that being said, The other bait that I've been really doing well with, and you can throw this on a Texas rig, you can throw this on a Carolina rig. I've been throwing it on a Carolina rig, is the Zoom Brush Hog and Watermelon Candy Red. And as you can kind of get the pattern here with the colors, watermelon candy has been really big for me. And I think a lot of reasons is that when you get it in the watermelon candy style, it's just a little bit clearer, translucent bait in this cleaner water. This is watermelon candy red. It's a Zoom Brush Hog. I'm not sponsored by Zoom, but I like using brush hogs this time of year. I really do enjoy it because it does yield a lot of bigger bites. Another one thing that's been going specifically on a Texas rig is I've been rigging a cross bait, just a 10-inch worm, and I've been throwing that one in the green pumpkin magic, and I've been specifically throwing that one in you know, like brush piles. You know, specifically a brush pile that's leading out from a spawning pocket, because with no hydrilla on Rayburn this year, the bass, you know, are sticking more to the laydowns and more of the brush and the stumps in these areas transitioning back out. So I've been rigging that on a Texas rig and, you know, just kind of dragging it real slow through the brush piles and around these stumps. And that's if I go to that, if I don't get bit on that trick worm, you know, that Wormzilla, if I don't get bit on that by cross baits, if I don't get bit dragging a Carolina rig, then I'll throw that Texas rig. As far as moving baits, I've been throwing a mega bass, and it's a mega bass jerk bait. I do upgrade the hooks on it. I think it's kind of crappy that you pay so much for a, you know, really good jerk bait like that and the hooks suck on it. Specifically a number one color here, I'll actually grab it and show you guys. So a big color for me that has been really producing, specifically when the light starts kind of coming up, or, you know, getting a little better in the water column, is this Mega Bass OG Threadfin. I've been, you know, kind of, this is a 110 plus 2. So sorry about the wind, it's getting a little breezy out here, so you have to kind of bear with me a little bit. But right here, this Mega Bass one, I've been throwing this, and, you know, what I've noticed that is, you know, with the live scope being out, and it's been out for a while now, and a lot of people are really figuring out, they're watching the Bassmasters on TV, and they're learning how to scope fish on their own. What I've noticed though, you know, as this water's getting warmer, you know, these fish aren't necessarily just all over a jerkbait, but I think they're getting wise to the jerkbaits now. You know, and I refer to like the Alabama rig. When y'all remember the Alabama rig come out, I mean, you go on the lake and just slaughter big fish and all kinds of fish because it was something the fish have never seen. Well, with live scope, you know, a lot of people are now throwing more jerk baits because they have the more confidence in throwing them, because they can see them and they can see how the fish are reacting. And that's great, but the whole reason I'm telling you that is I really am keeping this thing moving. I'm really working it and pumping it, and I'm really getting more of a reaction bite. They're not eating this to be eating it. They're coming up and biting it because they can't take it, and I'm really jerking it and just keeping it moving. I'm not really letting it pause more than just a second, and that's to let them kind of catch up. And then I've been giving it, you know, more of a directional jerk, like ups and, you know, back downs, to really make that bait dance. And it's been a big ticket for me if I can't get bit on anything else. I've had a lot of fish come off the bottom and eat it. Today that I'm out here, I was going to a bunch of different areas, and I had a lot of bigger fish come up and nose up to this thing, and they just wouldn't commit. And I was trying to figure out why. And the only thing I think that could be is yesterday there was so much pressure on the lake, and today, I mean, there's so much pressure on the lake today that these fish are wising up. So with that being said, that's what I'm doing out here. The lake's still 3.5 feet low. Water's pretty clean overall everywhere I've been. There's only been 1 or 2 places that I've been, and it's been pretty dingy. But overall, man, when everybody comes out to the lake, just enjoy yourselves, take your time. The last thing I'm going to touch on is spawning fish. I have finally seen some beds. I was beginning to wonder, there was two things I was wondering. Either one, these fish hadn't even come up to spawn yet, or two, they'd all spawned out back in December. And yes, fish did spawn in December, I promise you. I seen a lot of old beds and some you know, fingerlings that were definitely bass that were, you know, several months old. Today I did a lot of cruising, looking back in pockets and looking really far back in areas, looking for bedding fish. About the biggest bedding fish I saw today was right around 4 pounds. She wasn't locked on, I don't think, and the reason I don't think she was really locked on is because I think the fry were already up there. I swore I seen the fry moving around with the male and the female, and they must have just hatched overnight or, you know, within the last day, because usually the females don't hang very long and the males stay there and guard those fry. I seen several males up there that were guarding beds, and there was already several fry that were, you know, running around. So that tells me a lot of these bass, you know, in some of these areas have already spawned. And, you know, I think that there's a huge transition on the lake with the way the weather's been this year. I think you had some that spawned in December. I think you had some that spawned, you know, a couple weeks ago during the last full moon, and you've got some that's up now. So the spawn's really scattered. But the fish are going to continue to spawn all the way into April this year. I mean, it's just going to happen like that. Water temperature in a lot of these areas is just now 60 degrees. Yesterday, I was seeing right around 57, 56, 58. And, you know, so some of these areas, I don't think some of these big mamas have really come in yet. But with that being said, I hope this helps everybody when you come out to Rayburn. Be safe. There is a lot of stuff that's just under the water out here. The lake's pretty low. I've been told that come April, they're going to cap the lake off and they're going to start holding water. Who knows what's going to happen with that. Personally, I wish that Samrayburn would be 4 foot higher than what the normal pool is. I just think the lake fish is so much better. It puts a lot more cover in the water for these fish. But with that being said, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. And if you all come out here, try some of these baits. You all can go and to Cross Bait Company on a Facebook page, and you guys can pick these up. If you use Chad 10, you guys get a discount. You're gonna save some cash. It's gonna help you out, okay? I really like the cross baits a lot because it's got the kicking bass in it, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference. I'm already stocking up on all my stuff again. I think a big player this year is going to be, you know, the crawls again. If this lake does come up, I'm stocking up on, you know, the crawls that he's got, the crawl daddies, you know, and he's got another type of crawl that I'm a big fan of. And I encourage y'all, go on Facebook, check them out, go to their website, use Chad 10 to get a discount at checkout. It'll help you, and you know, it helps me out, and it helps you know, Cross Bait Company out. You know, they're going to be in Tackle Addict real soon. They're already at Ross Motorsports, so you can go up there and get their stuff. Tackle Addict, they're coming soon in there. He's, matter of fact, getting the big order together for them. And I expect to see Cross Baits in Tackle Addict within the next week. So I hope this helps everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please, guys, stop by and you know, everything you see that I've highlighted on my page as far as old 18 outfitters, give them a look, guys. They make the best rods in the business. Everything I use in the Suppressor series. I love their rods. They're super sensitive and they're strong. When I say strong, I mean, like, I throw a 7-foot medium for my frog rod, and last year I caught so many giant fish on that medium in the hay grass, like pulled hay grass out with an 8-pounder, and it's just, they're amazing. Please go check out Zilla Gear Outdoors. You can find these amazing jerseys. You see I got my hood up today. It's bright, it's sunny. This thing keeps the sun off my neck and off my face, and it keeps me from getting burnt and peeling like a snake every time, you know, I'm done fishing. Zilla Gear Outdoors, please check them out. They're also going to be down at the fishing show coming up next weekend on the 26th. I will be down there fishing with Rick, and I'll be at the Old 18 booth. But Gilzilla, you know, the Zilla Gear Outdoors with these insane fishing jerseys. They're going to be down there. Check them out. Please go check out Platinum Nutrition in town in Jasper. You know it sounds like I'm really pumping my sponsors, and I am, because without them, I couldn't do some of the stuff that I do, and I'm very grateful for them. You know, with all that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful week once again. And without any more to say, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Until next time, out.
You need 1620 right now. Got 1764. That's where it goes. What's this right there?
Have it there, Kennedy.
Again now, right here. I know that one day.